Well, thank you, everyone, and thank you to Suki. You are a very tough act to follow, as we all know. And, I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured to be taking up the chairmanship of the UK's leading network of marketeers at such an exciting time. So I want to take the opportunity just to say a few words about how I feel I can support the society over the next 2 years and try and get close to the work that Suki's been doing. I do feel a little bit like the man, or maybe the woman, who will eventually take over from Alex Ferguson and Man United, where nearly everything's been done many times over and where everything's in great shape. And how do you possibly follow that? The Society's reputation and relevance has never been stronger, with so many individual and corporate members and sponsors feeding back more positively year on year, seeing the great value for money that the Society can bring. Whether it's in all the areas that Suki talked about, in terms of award-winning case studies, professional development, the opportunity to network with peers, and inspiration from world's leading speakers. The organisation has never been in a stronger place, with a high-profile and tireless president in Amanda, with such a stellar board representing the very best of UK and global brands, including such high-powered past presidents as Rashid, such great chairs as Suki, and Graham's sterling work, apologies for the pun there, Graham, for the Society in Scotland. And most importantly, through the real workers in Hugh and Gemma, and their outstanding and delightful team in Teddington, who are so smart and dedicated and prolific. And I really appreciate all the amazing support they've given. So what can I possibly do, I hear you ask? How can I further society's purpose of inspiring global leadership? How can I do better than winning the Premier League 10 times, not to mention the Champions League twice? That's quite hard for a Chelsea fan. Well, I really see my main responsibility in helping to bring to fruition key initiatives that hopefully meet the members' interests today as we build on the excellent work that's taken place over the last few years. This is quite a key point for me, because my aims and my agenda really is not about reinvention, but very much about implementation. It's very much about taking the programs and ideas that we're already in train and supporting Hugh and Gemma and their team in the work that we need to do to bring them to full effect. So this is really about action. I mean, that's really what the message I'd like to send about what I'm looking to do in the next 2 years, is to action and implement a lot of the work that's currently being developed. And there are basically 3 areas that I think are particularly important. And they are, and in no particular order, as they say on the X Factor. First of all, actioning the new Marketing Society Manifesto for Sustainable Growth. This will begin with a very exciting launch event on the 23rd of May on the 23rd floor of Aviva's building, Amanda's building, and she will be launching that event. And of course, this is just the beginning of the journey. The Society needs to then ensure that we live and breathe that manifesto. So we're going to develop an interactive member feedback program through our virtual Clubhouse to see how we're tracking as a society against that manifesto. Like a lot of manifestos, they exist, they're words, and they don't have organic, they don't become organic, they don't develop, and they basically are not reviewed. What we want to do is make that manifesto live and breathe and develop it accordingly. This, of course, in turn will affect the events that we do, whether it's the kind of events that Suki talked about that she's successfully done recently at Shard, or developing links with the financial community in ways we've done in the past, or via Seed Camp at Tech City, or the IPA social measurement program, that social media measurement program that's working very well. So in many ways, these will be things that will allow us to live that manifesto. So we should view the manifesto as a program and beyond an event. It's something that is going to be permeating through everything we do over the next couple of years. And of course, we always welcome thoughts from members. This is as Gemma said, this is a club, this is a membership, and Suki said before, this is all about what our members are feeding back, and any ideas and ways in which people feel that our manifesto can be lived and breathed, we would like to hear. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is about extending our clubhouse. Gemma keeps reminding me how successful this clubhouse has been, and we are now seeing not only more people accessing the site, but of course spending more time on it. Now this drive for greater digitisation of the society, alongside all the fantastic events that we do, will also support the internationalisation of society. We're going to be developing a new international membership proposition, which is going to be launched shortly, which will, at its heart, it will essentially have the rich content, the unique assets and the awards programs in the Clubhouse. So we're very much using that richness in our Clubhouse, our virtual Clubhouse, as a way of developing our international footprint. So we're going to extend the society from the UK's leading network of marketeers to the leading global network of landmark events and marketeers around the world. We're looking at an event in India to kick off in September, and then we're looking at China and beyond. But the hub, the digital Clubhouse, will basically be a bit at the heart of that. Thirdly, connect us more with other networks. So what does this mean? Well, it's twofold. Firstly, it's about collaboration for members with other worlds, with bodies and organisations that help those less fortunate than we are, such as helping young unemployed in the UK to work. We're soon going to launch a Marketing for Good programme, which aims to give something back to the marketing community by harnessing all the talent, resources and expertise that we have as an industry and that we can offer to help those who do not. That's one aspect of this connecting with other networks. The second area is about providing greater inspiration for members through even more exciting events, featuring bolder leaders from other walks of life outside marketing. We know how great the feedback has been. We've had Ranulph Fiennes, we've had Heston Blumenthal, Seb Coe, Irvin Sellers, Barry Hurt. They're not professional marketeers per se, but they're inspirational and bold leaders who can offer as much insight, however lateral that might be, as a classical marketeer can on the subject of marketing. So for the example of this year's conference, we're going to have the likes of Sol Klein, the West Coast entrepreneur, and Peter Bazalgette as examples of people from other walks of life that are inspirational leaders and offer insight into marketing, even though they're not classical marketers themselves. So I can reveal obviously many more fantastic people, but if I do that, obviously you'll have to kill me, so I won't be doing that. So that is essentially where I hope I can add some value to society over the next 2 years and support Hugh and Gemma in what, as we all know, is an outstanding and brilliantly run organisation of the UK's leading network of marketeers. It's all about bringing to fruition those three themes of actioning the manifesto, of extending the Clubhouse, and connecting us with other worlds. And as I say, my role is not about reinvention, but about action to deliver our purpose of inspiring bolder leadership. So thank you very much for listening, and thanks everyone for having the faith in me. I'm extremely honoured and very excited to